Why, hello everyone, it is Andrew as always from MAO Magic, and today I have the Jawbone Up 3, which is finally hitting shelves after being announced in late 2014. Now, the real differentiator between the Up 3 and the recently released Up 2, aside from the $80 price difference, is going to be the heart rate sensor. Most of them are going to track the same thing: step, distance, calories, activities, all that, as well as your sleep. This one does do REM sleep, which is based off of your heart rate, as well as packing a bunch of new sensors. I believe there are 5 of them, which would include the heat flux sensor, skin temperature sensor, galvanic skin response sensor, heart rate sensor, and the respiration sensor. However, only one of them really seems to do anything at all at the moment, so we're going to have to look at that and see what's really going on. Obviously, the compatibility is pretty similar, using Bluetooth LE to connect, so you're going to need a newer Android or iOS device. The back of the packaging just covers some of the main features as well as the app, which hasn't changed too much. Now, the packaging, though, is a little bit bigger. It's actually quite a bit bigger, almost twice the size, even though the band itself is significantly smaller. So I'm not sure why they had to go with such a large package besides shelf space and shipping. It doesn't make that much sense, but we don't need to worry that much about the packaging. Let's get to the actual band itself and see how this compares to the recently released Up 2 as well as the Up 24, just for fun. The first thing to note between this and the Up 24 is this no longer requires different sizes. You have one size fits most instead of the small, medium, and large that the previous generation came in. Once you go ahead and lift up this little pull tab, you'll have some simple instructions, as well as the fancy new magnetic charger, which will be the third charger in the Up lineup. Not currently on the market, but in total, since the first Up came out, this is the third charger, which is a little bit annoying, but I think I can forgive them because this is so far my favorite. Obviously, here's the band itself. Right now, it comes in black and silver with a ton more color and style options coming in the future, and a lot of them look pretty nice. But I am very happy so far with just the black. But let's not sit here and stare at a useless band. Let's go and walk through the app and go ahead and set it up. So you will need the actual charger to set it up, as well as the new Up app. There are 2 different versions out there. You're going to need the one with the purple logo. It's one you're going to need. And we're going to go ahead and plug our band in. You can see by the lights that it's doing its thing, ready to go. And first, we're going to actually have to unpair my Up 2, and we're going to choose our new one. If you have one of the older bands, you need the older version of the app. So we're going to choose the Up 3. It's going to go ahead and search for it. Once it's found it and it's plugged in, you're going to go ahead and touch the top of it, which is now a capacitive touch button. So instead of the press and click button on the Up 24 and the original Up, you now have this fancy little capacitive button right on top. So we're going to go ahead and touch that, and now our Up 3 is paired. We're then going to walk through a few of the things that are new, such as heart rate, why they're measuring their resting heart rate, and how they're using that heart rate to measure your REM sleep. Now let's do a quick walkthrough through the rest of the app. So the first thing here are these Smart Coach cards. They kind of show up, and they're very neat. They give you different challenges, achievements, and help you motivate you to do different things. And they kind of give you some insight into the actual numbers instead of just giving you the numbers and expecting you to figure out the rest. If we look at the different Up versions, so if we look at the previous day with an Up 2 compared to the Up 3, this one here tracks REM sleep, which is right there on the top. It also shows you your heart rate, and it tracks the heart rate all through the night, which is how it can tell when you're in REM sleep. It can also give you that resting heart rate first thing in the morning, right when you wake up, and it measures it day to day. So here, one day, we have the heart rate of 64, right when I woke up this morning. It gives you a quick little Smart Coach card on why we're measuring it, what is a good range for that, as well as this nifty Learn More link. And all these will kind of take you to different articles from different health publications and the like, give you a lot more insight into what you're actually tracking and how you can improve it. On the right-hand side, you can see what Up band you have, as well as find it and get your serial number. You can turn on sleep mode manually in the app or on the capacitive touch button. You can start an activity to measure a workout. Set smart alarms that'll wake you with a subtle vibration within 30 minutes of your time. Idle alerts that you can set up during the day to make sure you stay active, as well as an activity alert. Lastly, you can set up reminders, such as a reminder to take a pill at a certain time every day. On the left-hand side, you have your actual bio, since how long you've been using Up, your goals that you can choose and customize, such as your moves, steps, your sleep, steps, and your weight. You can see your trends over days, weeks, and months. You can see all the app integrations such as Nest, MyFitnessPal, MapMyFitness, Withings, or Automatic Bluetooth Driving Assistant. There's lots of them in there, and pretty sure you'll be able to find one or two that you use along with the Up app. Hitting your home button takes you right back to your main activity screen. Now let's look at the different chargers. So we have the new charger on top as well as the old charger here on the bottom. Now this is the second generation charger that we have here, which uses a 2.5mm stereo port to charge the band. The original uses standard 3.5 to charge the band as well as plug into your phone. The third one here on top is magnetic and kind of uses induction charging, which is a lot better. So the first thing you'll notice is we had to actually take off this cap and plug it into the charger, which was annoying. Couldn't do it one-handed, and there was a very good chance that you are going to lose that cap and never see it again. Your only option is to pay $10 for Jawbone to send you 3 more just in case you lose them later. Now, this new charger just sticks on there with magnets, and it's a very, very easy to use charger, but it only works one way, which I kind of felt annoying. If you put it on the other way, it'll kind of attach, but slightly off. But either way, it does jump into place relatively easy, and I haven't had too much problem with it. Now let's take a look at the band itself. First thing you'll notice is we have all these sensors right here on the inside of the band. We also have a new clasp, which is new to the Up 2 as well as the Up 3 and Up 4. It's a little bit fickle and a little bit annoying. Inside on the back of the band, it's nice and smooth, so you don't have gunk sticking it up, kind of like you did on the Up 24, and you have these 5 sensors that are all down this one arm. These are what's supposed to measure your heart rate, the GSR sensor, your respiration sensor, all of those things, even though right now most of them aren't functioning. The other arm is completely blank and you don't have to worry about it. The clasp itself is fairly annoying and it takes a little bit of getting used to. It's also fallen off at least once for me so far, and I hope that doesn't continue to be the case. It is adjustable though, and you can pretty much just make this as small or large as you need to. As I mentioned before, the top is like a passive touch button. However, it's kind of weird. You first have to tap it twice to wake it up, even though I find that it takes more like 5 taps to actually wake it up. But then it's fairly easy to put into sleep mode by holding or starting an activity. To put on the new band, while it is still able to be done with one hand fairly easily, it's usually a little bit easier if I have something to rest my arm against. I'll pull the band as tight as I possibly can because if you don't pull it tight, it's not going to reach. So first you have to pull it all the way tight, kind of hold that down, and then slide them together. It's not that easy, kind of springy way that you would attach the Up 24, but it gets the job done and you don't have that clicky cap right on the underside of your wrist. If you look at the Up 24, it has that cap, and that would constantly hit against my table, my desk, or my MacBook, and it was infinitely annoying. The new one is nice and quiet, and I like it a lot better. If we kind of look at the Up 3 and compare it to the rest of the Up lineup, we have the current generation Up Move, which is their cheap $49.99 fitness tracker for the people who don't really need anything fancy and want the different options of being able to wear it on a shoe, belt, or their wrist. We have the phased out Up 24, which was their last gen fitness tracker. As you can see, the new one is quite a bit smaller than it, especially in the arms. The base unit where all the components are held is still fairly large, but it's a lot more flexible, a lot more comfortable, and a lot smaller. Obviously, the button is now on the top, and we no longer have that annoying cap that will inevitably get lost. You also don't have these 2 spots, which were weak points and would frequently get water inside and ruin it. The new one's splash proof, even though it isn't waterproof, which was the main holdup for the delay. Now let's compare the Up 3 to the Up 2. They're pretty much the same, even though a slight pattern on the front and a little bit more heft on the Up 3 because of all those extra sensors. But really what it comes down to is the Up 3 is $80 more for nothing but heart rate tracking and REM sleep. That's all the difference is. While it has all those sensors, right now none of them do anything. It checks your heart rate first thing in the morning and while you sleep, and that's it. That's the really only difference, and you're paying $80. You're kind of paying $80 for the hope and the promise from Jawbone that they're going to update it later to include lots of new features. But right now, at the moment, those features don't exist. So if you're wondering which band to get, I'd stick with the Up 2, at least until Jawbone brings all those sensors that it put in there to life. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.